Welcome to Flawless Conversations. I'm Tamika Jones, and today we're diving into how mindset can shift your life, your confidence, your purpose. You're watching Now Media Television. Welcome to Flawless Conversations, where we explore the strategies, stories, and mindset that empowers women to rise with confidence and create lasting impact. I'm your host, Tamika Jones. Today I'm joined by Julie Duncan, a high performance executive coach with crystal clear business strategies. Julie is a certified executive coach, an Amazon best-selling author with 3 book collaborations, and a speaker who has inspired audiences during many events like the Business Brilliant Summit and the Top 100 Women in Power. But Julie's story isn't just about her success today, it's about breaking through the labels and limits others try to place on her. That's where we'll begin in our conversation today. How to rewrite the story when others try to define you. Julie, thanks again for joining Flawless Conversations. This is such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Tamika. I am honored to be here, and goodness gracious, thank you for that introduction. But I've learned more from failure than I've ever learned from success. So I'm really happy to be here today to share.
Yes, you allowed your failures to be fuel for your success, right?
Yes,
It's
yes,
amazing.
yes.
So, Julie, the challenge many women face today is believing the negative labels others have placed on them, feeling like those words seal their future before they could ever even step into their power, even own their power. Julie, what do you think is going through, or what is going through your mind when someone told you in the past that you weren't college material? And how did you begin to change that narrative?
So, yes, my guidance counselor said 5 words to me that had the opportunity to change the course of my life. Through the grace of God, I say that didn't happen. And I wasn't astute enough as a 17-year-old to be able to understand anything that we're going to talk about today. But I will say my why was so big that I wasn't going to allow it to stop me. Now, backtrack. 3 months prior to those 5 words, my brother was killed in a triple fatality car accident. So I already came into the conversation feeling extremely shattered. The grief seemed insurmountable, but I didn't have a plan B. And I was not going to allow those 5 words to stop me. I also wanted to honor my brother, who was a U.S. Air Forceman at the time, who didn't have the opportunity. He died at age 19 to be able to go to college. So I was going to do it no matter what. And that's really shifting my narrative. It all started at a 17, as a 17-year-old was shifting it, was my why. It was
Mm.
huge.
And that's amazing. You're honoring your brother, right?
Mhm,
Air Force,
mhm.
and you've gone to college, and yeah, that's amazing for doing that. I'm pretty sure he's proud of you. Yes. How can women today begin questioning those negative labels that they get stuck with, right? That the labels that get stuck in as a result of like their story, right? How do they split those negative labels that people put on them?
This is one of my favorite subjects, and it's one that I teach regularly. And I'll take a piece from Tony Robbins' playbook. If you know
Mm-hmm.
Tony Robbins, you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says we need to shine a light on it. My saying is if we can name it, we can tame it. If we don't know what's happening, how can we change it? Right? So shining that light on it and asking, what story am I telling myself and how is it impacting me? And one of the biggest things that I see in the coaching industry for women is this narrative that I am not enough. And that can show up in relationships, that shows up in career, business, so many different places. So shining a light on that and recognizing, where did that come from? Trace the source. Did it come from social Was it a social narrative you gathered along the way? Was it teacher? Was it a bad relationship, toxic relationship you had? Was it growing up and child rearing? Not to blame, but to understand. It's imperative that we shine a light on it because it's a false narrative. We're all born good enough, right, Tamika?
Yes, good enough. Yes, amazing. Yes, I agree. It's like wearing that t-shirt, right? You put this t-shirt on and it's not yours. It's someone else, right? It's
Yes.
that auntie or that uncle or that spouse that told you wasn't whatever t-shirt you're wearing. For me, it was self-worth, right? I wasn't worthy enough. So I wore that t-shirt for years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Until it didn't fit anymore, until I made that conscious
Oh,
decision to take it off, right?
I
So
love that.
yes. So, what actionable mindset shift helped you rewrite your path when that counselor said no, but you said yes to your dreams?
So again, like I said, I didn't have the the knowledge base and the know-it-all that I have now. I was a grief-stricken 17-year-old. But here's the thing. I follow a lot of the giants. I follow Tony Robbins and I also follow Les Brown and I have a chapter in a book with Les Brown. And one thing that struck me the first time I ever heard it is, and I'll try my innermost Les Brown voice, we have to be hungry. What does that mean? Hungry for more. I would say I was born hungry. I wasn't born hungry for food. I was one who never wanted to be left behind. I had big FOMO and I always wanted to do more. And it came from, I think, a lack of self worth, which you're talking about. But I felt internally that I was made for more and I needed to make that happen. Was it easy? Oh my goodness, no. Because here's the thing, I was accepted on a probationary status. I had to be in good standing by the end of the first semester to be able to be able to move forward in my undergrad program. So my why was huge. In my head, I was born for more and I was not about to fail. I was honoring my brother and I was also honoring my grandmother who went to Penn State Teachers College during the Great Depression. So I had a lot of reasons to move forward no matter what. Wasn't easy and I had a lot of angst inside of me to do that, but I really stacked the good. One test, one college course at a time. I got an A, I got a B, even a C sometimes. Okay, I did it over here. I can continue. Stack the good.
Oh man, so you out the gate, you knew you was destined, right, to do something and to be someone and to impact the world, right? So you knew that from the get go. So yeah, that's good stuff when you know, and that self awareness, right? You had it. You didn't know you had it, but you had it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know, but I surely wanted more. And I grew up in a very small town that I adore. I go back there often. I have great friends there. But for me, I just knew I wanted to do more and I was made for more.
Awesome. That's amazing. So,
Thank you.
Julie, what reflection exercises that you use that someone can use to reclaim their story and become empowered like you are?
So there's a couple of things that are really important here, and it follows the lines of what we're talking about. Um, I got certified as a life coach before I entered the executive coach arena by Transformation Academy. And oh my goodness, I went through a whole course on this, which is so powerful. And Tony Robbins says, change your story, change your life. And this is what I did through the years without even realizing it. What am I talking about? Digging into our stories. I don't think we do that enough. Looking at the negative narrative, that we've not only been fed but that we've grasped onto. Is it faulty? Is it serving us? Is it helping us move forward? Are these beliefs actually mine? Are they a life story I gathered along the way? And being able to really understand that knowledge is power, but then action is power. How do you rewrite that story? Being able to examine it and look at it as, okay, this is faulty. What do I need to do to adopt more powerful beliefs? And I love, love, love this analogy, Tamika. So think of a table. I have a desk right here. And if I knock out the two legs, what's going to happen to my desk?
It's going to fall sideways.
What if I knock out all four legs?
It's going to fall flat.
What do we want to do when we're changing our stories and changing a faulty narrative?
We want to rewrite it. We want to start over. We want to tear that paper out, the book, and Rewrite our own narrative, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to knock the legs out and then rewire, and our brains, excuse me, are pliable. We can actually rewire them, which is a whole nother study I'm looking at right now. Fascinating stuff. But I want the listeners to understand that we can knock the legs out. We don't have to own the false narratives, the I'm never enoughs that we've been fed or we've started to believe that have become our convictions. And we can rewire those by adopting more powerful, empowering beliefs. But we need to knock the legs out and say, that's not me, that's not true, that's not who I am, and that's not who I'm becoming. And that is powerful stuff.
Yes, yes, that is so powerful. And I love, love, love that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So what give me one affirmation or give the audience one affirmation that helps shift from the I was labeled to I am becoming. One affirmation, Julie.
So there's many, but I love this one, and I've used it in my own healing journey. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yes. I love the saying that sounds so good. Let me say it again. I use that a lot
Yes.
in my coaching. I am not what happened to me. I am what I'm choosing to become.
I hope you all have your pencil and pen out, and I hope you wrote that down because that is very powerful, very, very powerful. Thank you for that, Julie. Thank
Of
you so
course,
much.
it helps
So,
us take our power back.
yes, yes, and I felt it. I felt it. Beautiful. Up
Thank
next, we'll tackle how to break free from limiting beliefs and unlock the unstoppable version of you. We'll be right back on Flawless. We'll be right back to remind you that healing is possible. Confidence is yours and that you are flawless. This is Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Tamika Jones, and you're watching Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to Flawless Conversation. Loving what you're watching? Don't miss a moment of Flawless Conversations or any of our favorite Now Media TV shows, live or on demand, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Now Media TV app on Roku or iOS and enjoy instant access to our full lineup of bilingual programming in both English and Spanish. Prefer to listen on the go? Catch the podcast version of the show right on the Now Media TV website at www.nowmedia.tv. For business and breaking news to lifestyle, culture, and everything in between, Now Media TV is available 24/7, ready whenever you are. We're here with Julie Duncan, executive coach and author, diving into the roadblocks that hold us back. In this segment, we'll explore how to spot and overcome the limiting beliefs that quietly shaped our decisions and kept us from reaching our full potential. So, Julie, many women feel like they're invisible or feel like invisible barriers stop them from reaching their goals in life, even when the finish line is right in sight.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, from your 30-year career, your 30 years in career, different careers and all the things, right, that you've done in your past, what is a common limiting belief you help women to shatter?
The one I see so commonly, Tamika, is I'm hearing echo. I'm never enough. And what does that look like? I'm not smart enough. I'm not thin enough, pretty enough. I'm not young enough. I'm too old. I don't have enough experience. I'm not confident enough. I'm not connected enough, and on and on and on. But the truth of the matter, we are fundamentally born with enough.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree. We are enough. Whatever we have, whatever we're beings that we don't need to be fixed, right? Because whatever we have, we already have inside of us, right? It's just a matter of activating, right? Whatever's inside of us. I'm a firm believer in that. I have what I have. And Julie, I wore that t-shirt, not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not Okay, high five.
High five.
Yeah, right. So that is common. One common limiting belief that we have that, like you said, we have to be aware of it, right, and do the work to rid that limiting belief, right?
Yes,
Yes. Else we'll stay stuck. We definitely will stay stuck. So
100%.
So, what first steps can someone take to recognize those invisible barriers that start inviting change, to start inviting the change?
So I'm all about giving tools to coaching clients. I'm all about using tools. So here's a couple. First of all is self-awareness and doing a
Mm.
body check. I often say we need to think about our thinking, but what about our body? How is our body reacting? What's a physical reaction we're having when we are having that feeling of not enough? What's the anxiety inside? It often comes out as anxiety. Is our chest tightening, our shoulders tensing up? Do we feel sick to our stomach? Our body recognizes things often, and it can be an automatic reaction before our mind does. So tapping into our body and being more self-aware and knowing, okay, I know what this is. It feels familiar. And here's another tool, the butt test. Have you ever heard of this one?
No, the butt test. No.
I love it. I
Okay.
want to, but whenever you hear yourself, I want to, but thinking it or saying it, what follows is typically a limiting belief.
Yeah, because you negate everything before that but, right? Everything, yeah.
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 Oh, I love those tools. I love those tools. And sometimes when I think about these limiting beliefs, I think of the guards at Buckingham Palace, right? And we're the queen inside the palace, right? But they're not going to go anywhere unless we actually say something to the, we take action, right? We have to take action. So that guard is going to stay there no matter what. That belief is going to stay there until the queen said, hey, I need you to step aside.
I love that. I love
Right?
that. She sure was a model for limiting beliefs when she was young, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
What
Yes.
she had to step into at a
Yes.
very young age is a poster child for what we're speaking about. She just did it, embraced it, grew into it, and that's another piece of this is 5% rule. We may not own it all at one time. We may be filled with self doubt, but what if we took 5% action? What if we took
Yes.
1% action every day and just move that needle 1%? How different is our life going to look versus tackling the whole 100%? That may be too overwhelming and too much. So again, 1%, 2%, build to the 5%. Before we know it, we're at the 95%, not overnight, but over time, because we keep showing up, we keep challenging the butts, and we keep rewiring that neural pathway to have stronger beliefs that are serving us well. So
Yes.
important.
Yes. Those dominant beliefs. I agree. I so agree, Julie. This is good stuff. Love it, love it, love it. How can mindset shifts like affirmations or, like you just mentioned, the reframing of your thoughts and beliefs unlock the door to your future, to someone's purpose, to, someone's passion in life, right? How can one little simple mindset shift, like an affirmation or a reframing of that belief, unlock that door?
I love this because it's something that I'm really digging into and starting to study and teach right now is affirmations tap into that neural reprogramming. We can reprogram our neural pathways and it's imperative that we do. So when we've thought for years and acted as if we are not enough, those neural pathways become superhighways and we just operate from all those old neural pathways versus strong correct thinking. I like to say correct because we can always justify our negative thinking, right? I'm raising my hand here. Let's think about more correct thinking that's fueling your growth and your success. And when you have affirmations that are more correct, you build stronger neural pathways. So it's super important that we start to tap into how we're thinking, how we're acting, how we're feeling, because if we're doing it from the old pathway, it may not be serving us. It's probably not serving us well at all, like putting that t shirt on, like you were speaking about. But when you rewire all of a sudden you start to make a bridge to a pathway, neural pathway that becomes much stronger, more positive, more correct in your life. And that's where real growth comes from.
I totally agree, Julie. That's good stuff. And I'm the affirmation queen, like I told you before. I'm all about writing them, and they're all over everywhere, right? But for the audience, we just can't write it, right? You can write these affirmations all day long, right? But just like Julie says, you have to show up. You have to become it, right? You have to not only write it, you have to say it. Then you have to feel it. And feeling it is the most important aspect of it because it allows you to become it, right? You want to be a better speaker? Write it, say it, feel it, sit in it, imagine it, right? Visualize it, own it, and then take actionable steps towards it, right?
100%. Tony Robbins teaches incantations because when we sit and we listen, that's a real cerebral event. But then how do we get it in our nervous system? How do we get it in our bodies? And exactly what you just talked about. He moves his body. If the listeners are interested in that, oh my gosh, look up Tony Robbins incantations on YouTube. It's really powerful stuff. He's using his voice, he's using his body to get those positive affirmations, to get the correct thinking into his body. It's really powerful watching him do that. He uses music, he uses his voice, he elevates his voice, of course. All those things that help to get it into our nervous system because knowledge is power, but action is where we start to move the needle.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it, Julie. Action. Yeah. One step at a time, one baby step at a time. That's all we need, right? Awesome. What is an on the spot practice to pause this self doubt, this guard, right? Before it convinces someone to stop or to give up on their purpose?
I think you just said it, stop.
Mm.
I don't think we ever do that enough. 10-minute power pause. Stop and think. It's okay to take a breath in a conversation. It's okay to say, I need a minute. Let me think about this. I just had a conversation with a close friend about this with her career the other day because we react versus and when we react we're not always sure what's going to come out. We might become what might come out from that real limiting belief aspect versus okay, let me stop and think about this. Where is this coming from? Is it a faulty assumption or is it something empowering? And I don't think we stop and breathe and we allow ourselves to do that 10-second power pause nearly enough.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So, Julie, I know you also share strategies like these with your clients and also in your books. Where can the audience find more of you, more of your work, more of your resources, and also stay connected with you?
So, a couple places Julie Duncan, Crystal Clear Business Strategies. I'm on there, as that's a website. And then there's also a section flushed out specifically on executive coaching. There you go. That's it right there. I have a short video, and then you can learn more about me. And then in that same website, there's a very specific section that talks about my executive coaching services. So that's one of the best place, and I do no cost complimentary consults where I just pour into people and see if it would be a connection to be able to make some changes in their life. And secondly, Facebook. I post a lot, hang out my hat a lot on Facebook. Julie Duncan, if you look on there, you can see my executive coaching. Those are the two places that are best.
Thank you so much, Julie,
Sure.
for this. Thank you so much. Stay with us. We'll uncover how to step into courageous leadership even when you don't feel fully ready. We'll be back. We'll be right back to remind you that healing is possible. Confidence is yours and that you are flawless. This is Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Tamika Jones, and you're watching Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to Flawless Conversations. We're continuing our inspiring conversation with Miss Julie Duncan. This time we're focusing on leadership, specifically the myth that you have to wait until you're fully ready. Julie will help us unpack how to lead courageously, even when that self doubt creeps in. The common misconception is that leadership requires perfection. Many women wait too long, including myself, waited too long, holding back until they feel ready instead of stepping forward while they're still growing. Julie, I know you've coached executives and women's from all over. How did they move from doubt to stepping into leadership before they felt ready?
This is a topic very near and dear to my heart because I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist. Okay.
Yes, I agree.
So when you're a perfectionist, you're never ready, right?
Mm, never.
But let's think about it. If you've ever had a baby, were we ever truly ready for that baby, especially your first one?
Oh, no, ma'am. No, not at
No,
all.
no. So I certainly wasn't. So to me, it's a myth. No one feels ready for their next level. And leadership is acting with incomplete information and imperfect confidence. What's Nike tell us? Just
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
That's right. And so, just like you were saying, Tamika, leadership comes from action, not a title.
Mm,
I think about the things that I've done. I haven't had the title before, but I've healed enough and I've really dug into my own healing journey, rewired my limiting beliefs so that I don't have to have the title. I have to have the action step, speak up, make the decisions, enter with courage. And maybe I don't have all the self confidence because I've never done it before. But how do we get it unless we take action? So competence follows courage. We have to have the courage, we have to have the confidence, then we gain the confidence through our leadership, one day at a time, step by step.
oh, I love that. That's good stuff. Because prior military, and I've seen where there was leaders, right, that were had the titles, the roles, right, but they were effective leaders. They didn't listen to their people. They didn't cultivate relationships within the unit and all the things. And then you have a breakdown, right, within that organization because leadership, for a better word, kind of sucked or wasn't as um, embraced or wasn't as developed as we would like. But you have to build on that, like you said, one step at a time. So I agree, Julie.
Yes, and the other thing I want to add to that is I love this insight that where does leadership begin? It must begin with us. Once we can lead our own selves into good decision making, good thinking, breaking through our limiting beliefs, showing up, being strong, all those things, then we understand what leadership truly means. And then we can start pouring into our team, our
Oh,
organization, whatever that looks like. But we must start with ourselves. That
mm,
took me a while to understand. And I was always looking to other people. Really, we need to look in the mirror and say, how am I leading myself first?
right. So that self awareness and that growth mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. I love it. So, Julie, what's one trust building habit women can practice to lean into leadership while still building that confidence?
I think it begins with trusting yourself, making
Mm,
one small decision at a time, trusting the process, and then stacking the good. I think I've said that earlier in this conversation, stacking the good once you see and start to trust yourself. And then you look at your team, you look who you're leading, you're looking at how that lands, being able to pivot if that decision didn't work out so well, listening to your team members. But it starts with one decision, one simple action, and following through on what you said you were going to do. Trusting yourself first, following through, listening to your team. That's going to give you a lot of data. It's going to give you a lot of information. And if you mess up and you fail, so be it. where I've learned more from failure than I've learned from any success I've ever had.
Just do it. Like you said, Nike, just do it. Step out. Do it scared. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
do it. I know with me, I struggled. I'm not gonna claim that fear anymore with public speaking, right? Just all my life, I had this fear, right? And I named it, oh, I'm just a, introvert. Oh, I just hate talking in front of, no, but it was a fear, right? And once we start to peel back the layer and do the work, we kind of figure out where that fear came
Mm-hmm.
from. And then we can address that why, right? And start working towards becoming the best speaker. And my fear of public speaking was growing up in the South, right? My mom, she came from, an area where there was segregation, right? So she would tell me every day when I go to school, go to the back of the classroom, don't talk, don't cause any smoke, don't raise your hand. You're there to learn. That's it, right? So I kind of took that, adopted that in life, and I went through life as a mute, right? I didn't have a voice, right? So once you figure out that why, right, you begin to move differently. And I've been showing up differently. So I don't hold that label, like you said, right? Label and titles, right? Or that ugly, that t-shirt. For
Yes.
me, it was the uh, inability to speak or hate public speaking, right? I had that t-shirt on and I wore it forever, right? It didn't even fit, right? It was all tight and it didn't even fit, but I wore it. So I had to take it off, right? Take it off to become the best version of Tamika, right? Kind of like the clients that you train, you teach, becoming the best version of yourself, right? And walking your truth and tell your story, right?
Oh my gosh, Tamika, thank you so much for sharing that. I have the chills from head to toe. So I'm so, let's think about this for a moment. You changing your story, change your identity, change your life. If you wouldn't have changed your story, we wouldn't be here today. I guarantee that.
Oh,
Secondly, if you wouldn't have changed your story, you wouldn't have written this chapter with me on Thank God It's Monday or all
last
of the
Monday.
other chapters that I know you have done and all the stuff that I see you're doing. So,
Yes.
but also, you are changing lives with this show. You're changing lives with your work because you change your story, you change your identity, and you showed up.
Yes. Showing that actionable step that you keep saying it. You keep giving it to us, Julie.
Amen.
Yes. So can you share a real life story of a leap you've taken before everything was perfectly lined up for you?
I just so happen to have one. So, don't we all have a story, right?
Yes.
So, in January, I burned the boats. I quit my full time job. I was doing a job that wasn't in my arena at all. My husband got hurt at work, and it was a survival necessary thing for me to do financially. And I did it for a couple years. It was kind of like admin work. And it was fine at the time. I loved the fact that I was getting a paycheck dumped in my account every 2 weeks, but it was not feeding my soul at all. And when the time came, I said, I'm burning the boats and I'm going to go all in on my life coaching. And something amazing happened the very next day, Tamika. I walked into our Chamber of Commerce meeting and I had someone pull me aside and he said, do you do executive coaching? And I thought, oh my gosh, at my age, I don't need to start something new. I'm good where I'm at. I've worn a lot of hats in my life, but I couldn't get it out of my system. It kept circling back. And then what we need to do in the business world, I networked with some wonderful business owners. And then was doing networking with Crystal Smith, who owns Crystal Clear Business Strategies. And she said to me something that changed our lives together in my life. And she said, I don't have an executive coach on my team. They do the numbers. They are phenomenal business coaches, net profit, cost analysis, all that business stuff that's so important.
Right.
I am here for the ROI that begins on the inside, right? And had I not burned those boats and had I not done all that networking and just wanted to reconnect because I knew her from like 12 years ago, an amazing human being, Crystal, I wouldn't be here today either.
Mm.
So that is what happened in January, where I was able to really just rewrite everything. And here I am in September 2025 in a whole new arena.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love that story. So powerful. Burn the boats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to, right? To become who we're becoming. Burn the boats. It's
Yes.
awesome. So, Julie, as a guest on Flawless Conversations, I leave the audience with, have the guests leave the audience with a flawless nugget and also a flawless fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the flawless nugget, what is something you can share with the audience that they can keep in their back pocket? Something simple that they can have whenever they're hitting these self limiting beliefs or any type of doubt or contrast that shows up. What is something that you can just give them that they can just automatically whip out and say, okay, this is what Julie said on Flawless Conversations. Let me tap into it. Let me lean into it. So, what can you give us?
So I'm gonna tap into my writing that you and I both share, our authorship, and the pen is in your hand, everybody. The page is blank. What will you write next to redefine you and redefine your story? What is next for you? It begins by rewriting your story. You have a blank page.
I love it. Oh, I love that. Yes. A blank canvas to do whatever it is you want to do on that blank page. That's oh okay. And then now your flawless fact. What is something that we should know about Julie? It could be something fun, funny, interesting, anything. We just want to know more about Julie.
So, in my younger days, I did two bike rides. I was a huge biker, and I did it to raise money for MS. And I did a 60-mile ride and an 80-mile ride. Again, this was back in my youth. And those were two of the events that I say changed my life because I dug deep. I did something I have never done before, and I pushed the limits. And I really didn't even train well. I should have, but I did the 60-mile, and my best friend and I at the time said, okay, if we can do 60, let's do 80 and let's raise more money. And that's what we did.
That is
Dig deep,
so amazing.
strive for more.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, coming up, Julia and I will discuss how setbacks don't have to be the end of your story. They can actually be your launch pad for something greater. So, go grab that cup of coffee or that cup of tea. We'll be right back with more of Julie Duncan. We'll be right back to remind you that healing is possible. Confidence is yours, and that you are flawless. This is Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. And we're back. I'm Tamika Jones, and you're watching Flawless Conversations on Now Media Television. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back to Flawless Conversation. Loving what you're watching? Don't miss a moment of Flawless Conversations or any of your favorite Now Media TV shows, live or on demand, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Now Media TV app on Roku or iOS and enjoy instant access to our full lineup of bilingual programming in both English and Espanol. Prefer to listen on the go? Catch the podcast version of the show right on Now Media Television or Now Media website at www.nowmedia.tv. From business and breaking news to lifestyle, culture, and everything in between, Now Media TV is available 24/7, ready whenever you are. In this final segment, we're leaning into resilience. Life throws us setbacks, but as Julie Duncan shows us, these moments don't have to stop us. They can actually reset us for something even bigger, much bigger. Julie, many women see setbacks as the end rather than pressing that reset button. Also, not realizing those moments can be the push that sets them on their new trajectory. What is one reframing belief that can help see setbacks as fuel for the future instead of failure?
This topic is very near and dear to my heart for many reasons. I love the quote by Willie Jolly, who's a renowned public speaker, a best-selling author. A setback is a set up for a comeback.
Yes, love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And if we can have that mindset that it's not failure, we learn more from failure than anything else. And it's a setup for a comeback, maybe bigger than you've ever experienced in your whole entire life. I'm speaking to myself, being told I wasn't college material and what I've done in my life. And Tamika and listeners, I want you to hear this. I humbly say, what I've done in my life is not because I'm any different, I'm any more special, and I'm any smarter than anyone else in the whole entire wide world. It's because I understood these concepts. I rewired, I rewrote my story, and changed my identity. And I saw these setbacks as okay, what am I going to do to rise above? Hungry for more.
I love it. And sometimes these setbacks are just merely, now it's not your time,
Yes.
right?
Amen. Amen.
Right. So we have to embrace that because we can step into a role um, because we want it so bad or because someone told you, oh, yeah, you could do it. And you thinking, okay, this for you, but it may not even be what your path, right?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't wait or didn't listen and you say, okay, I don't want it to be a setback. I'm ready to go full throttle, but it wasn't your time. So sometimes we just have to sit on it, like you said, and see if it is your time,
Amen.
whether it's a setback or if it's a setup for success, right?
Yep.
Ah, it's good. Good stuff. How do you guide someone to take gentle next steps, those baby steps that we talked about, when overwhelm feels like they're just constantly hitting the wall?
So one is start to see if you see it as impossible, move the needle 1% every day. Think about that. If you can move the needle 1% Monday through Friday, what's your life gonna look like at the end of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year? 1% every single day.
Oh, I love that.
Taking a 1% action, sending the email, making the phone call, rewriting your story, journaling, breath work, 1% every single day moves the needle. How much in the course of a week, a month, a year? It can make a pivotal difference and change your life. Because many times we see the whole picture. How do you eat an elephant? One little bite at a time. 1%. I think so many times we get caught up in it's just overwhelming. It's too big. I can't do that. I'm not enough. You can do one little thing a day. We can all do 1%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Focus on 1%.
Yeah, and over a week, right? Julie, that 1% may be 5% over a week,
Yes.
20%, 15%.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, what is one reflective practice like journaling help turn setback into strategy?
I'm sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
What is one reflective practice like you said, the breath work or
Oh,
meditating or yoga, like or journaling help turn setback into strategy?
I think everything that you just said is very valuable, invaluable, but journaling, journaling, journaling. Why?
Yes.
Because it's been said that we have from research 60 to 70 thoughts a day. Thank heavens we don't know all those because we drive ourselves crazy, right? But if we can start to tap into what our unconscious beliefs are, what our subconscious beliefs are, tapping into things that we may not realize, and then the feeling aspect of it all, which is below the surface oftentimes, and we can get that out, it can be life changing. And that's what journaling can do. Can tap into those unconscious beliefs, those subconscious beliefs, things that we're not even tapped into, and also how we're feeling and get it out. That is a way to really start to change your story.
Yes, I agree. So, why is celebrating these small wins such a revolutionary act after a setback?
So right, Tamika, why I love this topic because
Yes, yes.
I flushed this out in our Thank God It's Monday book that we both wrote a chapter for. And think about it. Do you celebrate holidays in your family? Do you celebrate birthdays? Do you excuse me, special occasions? Why do you do that? Because they bring us joy, they bring us happiness, but also think about it from your life perspective. When you're celebrating those small things, those small rocks and those big rocks, and then the big boulders, Those are the things that bring inner joy, but they also keep us going during the hard times, which are going to come. They are going to come. That's life. So it's
Yes.
imperative that we understand how that we excuse me that we celebrate those, because that's a fuel that can keep us going, stacking the good. And then I created a Monday milestone, which I recommend everybody on Monday morning. Wake up and think about all of your wins and the things that went well last week. We oftentimes end Friday with that. What if we started Monday morning with our wins? How's that going to set
Powerful.
up our week? Monday milestones. So thank you for asking that question. It's a topic very near and dear to my heart because of our chapter together, our chapters
Yes.
in the book.
Yeah, and I have the book here. So I'm looking at your chapter, and I really, really, really resonated with the embrace courage, right? So courage comes before the confidence, right? Is that what,
Mm-hmm,
right? Because of I had the courage, I'm able to gain the confidence to step out and do whatever it is, right?
mm-hmm.
For my purpose, walking in my purpose. So this is powerful. But yeah, you have the actual the number three, the embrace courage. I really resonated with that that section of your chapter. But the Monday manifesto, own your mindset, stay curious, embrace courage, and celebrate boldly. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually, Tamika, have an ebook on the website where they can download, and it flushes out a Monday manifesto. All they need to do go in is click the link and enter their email, and it will populate in their inbox immediately. Monday
Okay.
manifesto.
Okay. So where can the audience find more of Julie?
I'm on Facebook under Julie Duncan, and then Crystal Clear Business Strategies, Julie Duncan.
Okay,
Yep, right
awesome.
there.
Thank you,
Right there.
Julie. This has been such a pleasure. Oh my God, thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join me on Flawless Conversation. This is amazing. Thank you.
I'm very honored, Tamika, and thank you for having me.
Well, thanks again. Thank you from sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your resilience with us today. Your story reminds us that labels don't define us. Beliefs can be broken. Leadership doesn't require perfection, and setbacks are not our final destination. They're opportunities to rise again and again and again. To our viewers, remember the story you tell yourself will either hold you back or push you forward into your purpose. Choose to tell the story that empowers your future. I'm Tamika Jones, and this has been Flawless Conversations. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay flawless, stay courageous, and keep rewriting your story.